So, looks like at long last we have our first clan event for Zero, and as I said before, it is Nova Grappler. And the good news is that apparently this event is very free-to-play friendly, because it has been calculated already by the people running through the event that you can essentially get 4 copies of the main GR from, or the only GR actually, from this event by playing through your daily stamina and maybe spending like 1,000 gems tops, which is like basically 10 packs. And this is all up in the air, you know, not counting like free stamina they give out for maintenances and like all your grade up stamina and stuff like that. So obviously keep that in mind. But this is a pretty big change, and it's also very nice to know that also if you don't like, for example, this like Nova Grappler or like a future event clan, you don't have to build it. You can take all the SPs from the event shop and break them down and get GR materials. So very cool. Anyway, we'll take a look at the clan fight event in just a second, but of course, as always, I like to take a look at the cards that are featured in the event first and foremost. So let's take a quick look at all the cards that we have available for Novas in this first wave of G clan events, and then we're going to take a look at the actual event and see how the like point gains and things like that are actually looking like. Also, the game goes into maintenance in 30 minutes, so we're going to try to do as much as we can before that actually happens. All right, so here we go. For once, we actually don't get free starters, so we can actually take a look at everything. So first things first, we have the main starter that you want to trade for, which is of course the rare. So this is the Extreme Battler Run Ball. GB1, when the unit in front of him stands, you can also stand himself. So we've seen that in the little demo video they did for the strides, that you basically get to just, you know, restand a whole column with him. And then this guy is you put him into the soul and give a unit plus 3k for that turn. Then we have the Stride Fodder, which is of course, you know, when you discard for stride, it's counted as a grade 3. And if you call it from hand to rearguard circle, you can discard 1 and search your deck for a grade 3 Victor and add it to your hand, which is of course the main grade 3 of this entire clan in G. Then of course we have the countercharging perfect guards. So this of course when your Vanguard would be hit, it's the same thing as all the other countercharging perfect guards. Then we have the 8k vanilla, the Ken doll, nothing too fancy there. Then we have the GB1 10k attacker. Then we have the final wrench. GB1 once per turn, when another unit in the same column as this unit stands by your card's ability. For that turn, this unit, that unit gains plus 3k, but it's only once per turn. And this used to give more power, I think, back in the day in the TCG, so that's a bit of a difference. So that's the grade 1s. As you can see, they're not super great, so you're probably going to be still playing like Clay Doll Mechanic and stuff like the Energy Charger to get more draw power and stuff like that. The grade 2s are actually pretty good though. First, we have the triple rare Cool Hank. GB1 once per turn, when he is boosted and he attacks the Vanguard, counterblast 1, and then choose another one of your rear guards and stand it, and if you did, give that unit plus 3k. So they did decrease the power gain from 5k to 3k, but that's actually quite fine because of the way that you also get like a lot of other power gain from stuff like Sazanda, from the other stand effects and whatnot as well. Then, of course, speaking of Sazanda, it also got a bit of a nerf. It is now GB1 once per turn. When this unit stands by your card's ability, it gains plus 5k, but only once per turn. This used to not be once per turn in the TCG, but now it is, which is still fine. Is a 14 plus 3, that's 17 with a boost, that's 22. So it still breaks the defensive, which is okay. Next, we have the NGM prototype. During your opponent's turn, gets plus 5k power. So this is like every clan has one of these, so it's just a 13k on your opponent's turn. Then this card, please don't sleep on it, is a very, very good rare, which is the Starlight Hedgehog. When placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, for that turn, choose another rearguard and give it the following ability. Once per turn, when this card stands by your card's ability, draw 1 and countercharge 1. So it is once per turn, but it's still really nice that this gives you extra free draw and countercharge, so you don't have to over rely on things like the, you know, Clay Doll Mechanic. So definitely don't miss out on this card. It is very, very important, so make sure you pick it up. We have the 10k vanilla, which is the Ken Beam, nothing to write home about here. Then we have the GB1 once per turn. This used to be a promo actually. This is the Magical Gambler. When he stands due to your card's ability, you can counterblast 1 and then look at the top card, put the top card of your deck into the drop zone, and for that turn increase this unit's power. You increase this unit's power by the power of the card put into the drop zone. So I guess it's a gamble on how much you'll increase his power by, which is interesting, I guess. That's surely one way to put it, right? So we have him, then we have the GB1 when he attacks the Vanguard, gain 3k, so 12k attacker. Then of course Mr. Victor himself is the main grade 3 for all of G for Novas. He will get a couple new forms as we go on, his last form being the strongest, and of course he has plenty of stride forms too. So Mr. Victor says GB2 when he attacks the Vanguard and the attack hits, you can choose another rearguard and stand it, and for that turn that unit gains plus 3k power. So of course it's not as great as it used to be in TCG. In TCG it was on attack and it gave 5k, now it has to hit and it's 3k, but of course in the context of Zero that makes a bit of sense. But it feels that some of these nerfs to Novas are a bit kind of like, you know, PTSD from like the Ashura Mond days. Then when you stride over him for that turn, the Vanguard gains the skill. When it attacks the Vanguard, and sorry, when the attack hits the Vanguard once per turn, count +1 and choose a rearguard and stand it and give it plus 3k power. So of course this is, you know, like a way to keep standing your board and getting multi attacks, and you can swing intercepts into intercepts and then be able to restand them with this guy hitting, and then you can use stuff like Cool Hang to stand more stuff, etc, etc. So you can still get like 5 attacks pretty consistently, and just like every main grade 3, when placed on Vanguard Circle for that turn gains 3k. Then following that we have the backup grade 3, which is the Mechari da Musashi. So that's a weird way to pronounce it, but this is kind of like the backup grade 3. GB1 Vanguard Circle, count +2 for that turn. One of your rearguards gets plus 2k power, and you can choose one of your opponent's rearguards that has less power than that unit and retire it. So that's actually a way to pop an opponent's intercept, which is a pretty cool card, I would say. And Vanguard Circle, when placed, Soul Blast 1, choose a card from hand and call it, and then for that turn one of your units gets plus 5k power. So it's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool card overall. Like CB2 to pop an intercept and also like power up your board a little bit is nice, but of course you have to rely on stuff like Cool Hang to get your restands going. And of course this Vanguard skill, you know, being on GB1 means that you can't use the same turn you would stride. So it's pretty cool, you know, backup. It's 11k as well. I think this might have been 10k in the TCG. I'm not too sure about that though. Then they added the Muscle Shriek. So yes, this card is called Muscle Shriek. And he says, Vanguard Circle, GB1. When he attacks the Vanguard, count +2. Choose 2 of your rearguards and stand them. And if you did, for that turn, those units gain plus 2k power. So that's actually pretty strong. You get to CB2 to restand your front row and also give them power. You could even run this with like Beast DD grade 2s that like get power when they restand, which is pretty cool as well. Then his second skill is when he's placed on Vanguard Circle, count +1, Soul Blast 1, you choose the grade 1 or lower unit on your field that has the highest power, and then choose an opponent's rearguard with less power than that unit and retire it. So like it's also a way to pop very weak intercepts. I don't know if you would have a grade 1 that can be stronger than the 8k vanilla, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting card, but I think the like front row restand is actually pretty legit. Then we have the Extreme Battler Raybird. So GB1 when he attacks the Vanguard and it hits, count +1, choose a rearguard and stand it. And if you did, for that turn, that unit gains plus 3k power. So it's not too bad. You basically get to, you know, just CB1 to restand something is the same as Cool Hank essentially, or Victor, so it's pretty good. And when your G unit strides for that turn, one of your Vanguards gains plus 5k. So it's basically like your budget. Like if you can't afford Victor for whatever reason, then you can basically build this. We have the effect critical as always, so when your Vanguard attacks, if it's a grade 3 or higher Victor, put it into the soul, draw 1, and your Vanguard gains plus 5k. And if you take this as damage, then you draw 1 as well. The heal we already know, it's the same as all of them. And then Nova's only got 2 strides, so you'll have to probably play some Cray Elementals for the time being. First one is your first stride, which is Vic 10. When he attacks and the attack hits a Vanguard, you can choose a rearguard and stand it. If you did, for that turn, that unit gains plus 3k power. So of course, as we said before, the 3k scale pretty well together, so it's not too bad. And finally, we have the GR, which you can get pretty easily. So as I said, you can actually get 4 of him without too much effort. And so he says GB2, which means that he kind of has to be your second stride, because you need to have 1 card in the G zone face up already. Once per turn, count +2 and G Persona Blast, so you need another copy of him in the G zone. For that turn, lose 1 drive check, but gain the following ability. Once per turn, at the end of the battle, you attack the Vanguard, discard 2 cards from your hand, stand this unit, and draw 1. So it's pretty good because he swings with 2 drive checks both times, and of course that is more chances to check triggers to put on your restanding rearguards and stuff like that. So it's a pretty strong GR, and this does stay in the Nova Grappler G zone at least as a 2 of, and back in the day, like this didn't have GB2 on it, so you can actually run it as a 3 of and use its skill twice to like self-activate GB2 in a way, but sadly they changed the text a little bit in Zero. So you can't do that cool play anymore, unfortunately. So for the time being, yes, this will be kind of needed as a 4-of, I think, just because you don't really have other options that, like, you know, with your opponent's at 5, like, nothing's hitting, right? So obviously you need to have some way to do 4 attacks in a turn. And so because of that, I think for now you do want 4, but honestly, like, it will go down to 2 in the future. But the next time Novas get support isn't for a while, so I would keep that in mind as well if you're an aspiring Nova Grappler player. So that's it for the cards. Now let's take a look at the actual event itself. Alright, so now we're back after maintenance, which took 3 hours and happened right when I started recording. We've taken a look at all the cards, and so now let's actually get into the event and see what's going on in it as well. So of course, you just have the little banner down there with Kamui on it. And so basically, as I said before, this event is pretty free-to-play friendly. Like, that's probably one of the best things ever. If there's ever like an event clan that you don't really like and you don't care about building it, you can just like trade for SPs, get rid of them, get GR mats. And if you do care about it, well, you can actually have a finished deck from just putting in a little bit of gems maybe, and that's about it. All right, so the event does actually have a story. I'm kind of surprised. So yeah, basically Kamui called not just the 3 of them. Looks like there's an event there today. He says there's a lot of people here. He's like, oh, did you invite us to help you out? I'm not helping anything. He's like, no, that's not what I wanted you here for. What kind of event is this today? Let me explain. Big brother. All right, thank you, the 3 of you, for coming here today. It's like, oh, we were called here by Kamui, that's all. Then I think you'll probably get a bit more excited if you hear about the actual contents of the of what's going on here. So today's event is the Clan Fight Challenge. Oh, so it's actually literally the same event. What? You're saying the Clan Fight Challenge? So basically you fight against the fighters of a certain clan and get points, and then by getting more points, it's that kind of event. So while we are the Dragon Empire branch, there are a bunch of clans that belong to it. Okay, so basically just explains the sort of like rundown of the event. It's like, oh, so it's an event that you can like fight against various like decks of various clans. So that sounds pretty, it's like, oh, that sounds pretty interesting. Yes, and that is why Kamui invited us today. So who is that clan fighter going to become? Well, that is actually... You fight with me, Vanguard. Yeah, Vanguard. That's right. I will fight with all of you. Lots. That voice. The old man is the clan fighter. I'm not an old man, I'm Vanguard. It's like, Shibucho, Vanguard. He's like, let's calm down. So before I introduce the clan fighter, let me explain the rules. So if you ever find Vanguard, you'll have to fight him, and then if you build up points, and once you've built up enough points, you'll be able to fight against the clan fighter. And then if you beat the clan fighter, you'll be able to score even more points, and that will take you up higher in the ranking leader points. So Vanguard isn't the clan fighter, actually. So then who is it? Alright, let me show you. The clan fighter for this time is... Wow, the 3 of you have such a great reaction. Hold on, brother, I wasn't told about this. This is, 1 week earlier. Alright, so it's the Shibucho, Mr. Oyama, looking through. And then he's like, he finds someone. He's like, Mamoru-san, let's fight again sometime. He's like, oh, I'm always happy to fight against you. He's like, oh, I wish you invited me too. It's like, oh, I'm having Kamui help me out here. Alright, so it looks like this is probably where the reason why Kamui is the clan fight challenge person. He's like, oh, I want to fight against your Nova Grappler deck too. It's like, oh, I have no problem with that. That's bad. Shibucho, you have to go back to work. He's like, there's no way I can work until I've been able to fight against the Nova Grappler deck. He's like, oh, what's wrong? Nova Grappler. And we don't have a clan leader around here, huh? Alright, that's it. I've decided. I've come up with a cool event. The name will be, let's see, Clan Fight Challenge. Clan Fight Challenge. Okay, so this just explains what's going on here. Alright, so basically, you will be the clan fighter. It's like, huh? Alright. Alright, it's like, leave it to me, I'll help you out. Alright, then he's gonna get to fight him, and so he's like, oh, this is all just because you want to fight him, isn't it? Alright, so just have fun with it, I guess. He's like, well, that would surprise me a little bit, but doesn't matter who's the opponent, I'll fight with all I've got. That's right. This event, I can't lose to you two if we're doing it. I was thinking the same thing. Me too. He's like, watch me, big brother. Of course. Everyone have fun. Let's go. Vanguard. Oh, I kind of like that, actually. That's like a cool way to wrap it up, in that the actual event is literally the event in game. Like, it feels like Zero is literally just like G. Like, you know, with the grades and everything, and just the way it's been built up feels very, very similar. Alright, so here's an explanation once again of how the event works. So you have the clan fight tickets, so you do character fights in order to get the tickets, just like normal clan events. And then you can use the clan medals to exchange for various rewards such as cards and sleeves and stuff like that. And then you get to rank on the leaderboard, where you get packs and flares and skip tickets as prizes. And of course, every day there's a different boost skin between Chrono, Shion, and Mamoru. And when you when you win fights, you have a chance to go up against Black Vanguard, which gives you triple the clan medals and CP. And you can use skip tickets to basically, you know, just go through the fights faster. And then once you've filled up the CP limit, you can fight the clan fight challenge, where you go against Kamui and raise your fight stage. So that's basically how it all works. So we've talked about it on the Tuesday stream video last week as well. And so you can see I've already been doing my dailies today, and it's time to get into it. Of course, the shop we also looked at on the Tuesday stream, so we can quickly take a look at the exchange rates. Keep in mind that for basically all the cards, I believe the first exchange is half price, so like it's 50% off. So you can see here that, you know, the GR is 15,000 when normally it should be 30, and then the triples are 1,500 when normally they should be 3,000. I don't know, the double rares and below are actually the original price, so they don't go for a discounted price. But generally, I recommend that you like craft your doubles and below, if not triples, if you have enough materials for that, because of course you can save on all these materials. And so those are the regular rarities. And then of course you have some sleeves as well, the packs, but it's not really recommended to get the packs. And so thanks to Fluffy, he actually made a little calculation for day 1, and this actually pinned on my Discord in the JP section. So apparently using only daily stamina for the calculations and pre-boost point currency, you basically get 75k of this currency, which of course is enough for basically 2 GRs and a playset of triple rares, which is really, really nice. Otherwise, you can get 1340 GR mats from exchanging for the SPs, which is also super cool. And so he does more detail in my Discord. You can check that out. It's pinned in the 0JP section. But he basically gives you a bunch of don'ts as well. He says, don't buy the commons, don't buy the packs here at the bottom, like don't trade for these packs, and don't buy the SPGR, because that is a bit too much effort, basically. And also an important point is that you guys probably saw, but we looked at Muscle Shriek during the starting point, and the like emergency maintenance they did was actually to remove Muscle Shriek, because apparently it wasn't supposed to be in the game yet, which is very interesting. So yeah, that's an interesting little factoid, I guess. All right, so with the rewards out the way, you can check which fight skins are on boost right now, and you can see that right now it is Shion, so we're going to be playing with Mr. Shion for today. So basically, to do a fight, you have to use up 5 of the tickets. So that's what the calculations are based on. And so let's go with Shion and of course Ultimile into this first fight. I'm assuming we'll have to fight through it. I don't think we can skip it right away. If we can, then we'll do that and then just fight against Kamui, otherwise it'll take too long. I guess we can use a skip ticket, so let's do that and see what happens. So let's just use one. So I have like 67 of them, so I think it's quite fine to use them while we can and just see like how much do we need to do these fights for until, oh, look at that with the boost, 450, that's quite a lot that you get actually. Okay, so basically if we get another 150 CP from basically doing one more fight, we will already cap this out, which is really, really nice. So basically just need to do Shion one more time. There we go, let's use a skip ticket here. So this of course uses up our, you know, the materials and stuff. So we got more CP out of it, we got more of the medals out of it. Alright, and there we go, Clan Fight Challenge. So this one we have to fight, it uses 7 of the tickets, but if we win, we will get 800, which is very nice, and of course it uses Nova Grapplers. So let's try it out. So we once again select Shion, so we'll be playing with Ultimile. You get a early preview for this week's deck and fight. I'm still working on Ultimile. I'm trying to make a pure version before experimenting with stuff like Dual Knights, although I think Dual Knights are pretty good. So let's take a look at the Nova Grapplers in action. So of course this will be your guys' first preview of how Victor looks in Zero as well. But yeah, it's been so long, you know, with them doing the maintenance and everything that we've somehow gone into nighttime here. So yeah, we'll be playing with Shion against Kamui, going second, which means we get first stride, and then we have to keep and make sure that our hand is good for it. And I've also heard from people say that, like, this fight is pretty hard, apparently. Like, apparently it's pretty easy to lose it, so let's be a bit careful with that. Alright, so I'll put back the PG, just because I don't think we need multiples. We don't have Ultimile in hand yet, so we might have to use the stride fodder to actually search it. So let's see how this goes. Especially going second. It's very important to consider. Okay, he rides the Arashid, so that is the stride fodder. Alright. What are we going to draw into? All-Mile? No, but another Stride Fodder is pretty good. So we can ride the Pier here. So that is quite good. Pier is a handsome little fella. So that is sweet. And then we can basically just bash with 7 and see what kind of early game our opponent is going to present to us here. Okay, he gets a draw. Nothing too bad. Nothing too bad. Early draws are fine. Depends what kind of triggers he plays, I guess. But rides the cool Hank. That's fine. I need to find a time to incorporate the Novas into my deck and fight lineup now as well. Alright, attacks with 9. We get the PG and the damage, not the greatest, and the crit to boot. Ay. Alright, we're on 3 already. Okay, we gotta draw defensively. Still no all-mile though, so we're gonna have to search it this turn. That's a little bit yikes. We get BBS, which honestly I kind of want to ride, just because it's a good, like, unit to sit on, per se. Theoretically, we could also use this turn as well, to be honest. I think we can go for that. So we have to discard 1. I guess we can discard the Fragment here. Although I might need the Fragment next turn. I guess we can discard the Fragment for now, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, we find the All-Mile, and then we can use this to set up a board here. That will be a little bit harder to counter. We can use the BBS here to also, you know, set up some potential high roll. So Blaster Blade Spirit will take out the front row rear. And just like that now, we basically have a 1 trigger. There we go, 1 trigger that will make us hit over the defensive. Or potentially push 3 damage in 1 turn, depending on his damage checks. So let's see if he gets defensive here. He does not, so we can actually push him to 4, which is pretty good. So we give him some CB, but not too much. And then next turn we can probably finish it with a nice little Blade. Oh. Damn, just when I complimented the animations the other day, just when I said all the animations look so much better, they picked the worst one for Victor. Like, Victor has so many beautiful animations throughout all of G, and they picked that one? Like, come on. Victor literally has so many really well-known, like, cool animations, and they picked that one? Come on, man. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Alright, let's finish this up with All-Mile. So far, I think if you go first, it's hard, and they get first stride and stuff, but for now, I'm not seeing the toughness, let's just say, of this fight. So I'm thinking here, because I guess we can go for Gablade, but I'm not going to be hitting, I think, because we're going to push him to 5, so maybe Samuel is better here. Let's go for Mr. Sammy. Mr. Samuel will do just fine, I think, here. Alright. Generation. Alright, let's see, we join 2. Ooh, Knight of Fragment, that's pretty good. Knight of Fragment is pretty good, we can call both of these out as well. That is definitely quite nice. We can buff them... Actually, wait. We can buff this and buff the booster, I think, and put this back. And now just call this, and then we basically can activate Samuel before we activate the other thing, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I guess with this, we don't need to go for, like, multi-attack, we can just, like, bash face. And I think that's fine. I think that's fine. We just needed, like, a full board for Samuel to take effect, and we see if he has a PG or not. So with this, we can use this first while we have the full board, because we have exactly 5 rear guards. So he takes 1 damage, and then we use the crit to cycle a card. Alright, let's see what if he has a PG in the hand or not. We get a crit, so that's going to be extra painful if he doesn't. He does not, so Samuel's going to finish it. Alright, that was a very quick fight. Very quick fight. So keep in mind, before we beat him, we were gaining 450 CP per fight, right? 450 CP per fight, and 450 of the Nova materials, the Nova metals, I guess, per fight as well. So let's see now if things will look a bit better. Okay, so from beating him, we got 800 base, plus 400 from the boost character, which goes to show that having the skins really does help out a lot, so that's definitely quite good to see. Alright, fight stage level up from 1 to 2. So now, we need to do 600, right? And each win gives us 300. So that's already more than before, right? Because we were earning, I think, 300 with 150 plus. So I think now it's going to be 330 with 150 plus, which slowly scales up as well, as long as you use the boost characters. Of course, without the boost, just take the boost away. It shows it separately for a reason. So here we still have plenty of skip tickets. I guess you basically want to just, like, use whatever stamina you have here in order to set up, you know, your... Oh wow, wait, the boost scales too. So we earned basically 50 more. Like, basically 50 more from all of that, which is really nice. So here, you basically get to keep going. Like, you see the clan fight caps out. So if I do one more fight here with a skip ticket, I will basically just, you know, run into Vanguard again. And then that should unlock Kamui again. So we have to fight him again without skipping. So you can't skip those. You have to play through them. Yeah, there we go. We get Kamui again. We're already at 3,000. Already at 3,000. So already like a fifth of the way to a discounted GR from just like doing a few fights basically, which is pretty sick. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. That's really impressive. Wow. All right, so let's do it again. I think I'll skip through this one, unless, like, you know, I'll skip to, like, him striding or something in case we go first or something. I don't think everyone wants to watch Altmal versus Victor over and over again. Oh, alright. I didn't kill him right off the bat, so he went into Vic 10. Let's see what he can do with it, though. Let's see what he can do with it, though. But yeah, he managed to push me really hard and crit me early and everything. Lots of pain. Lots of big pain, but I think we should be fine even if this hits, which it won't, because it's gonna get PG'd. But there you go, Mr. Kamui did manage to land a stride. I was just thinking to myself how, like, I do like this change in format though, because like the old clan events, like they took so long to go through all the difficulties, and then like you got the missions and all that little stuff on the side. Like, it just wasn't very fun, I want to say. I feel like it just wasn't very fun compared to like the potential that the events can have, and I think that this type of style of event explores that potential way better, in my opinion. So it's pretty good. Props to Bushi for doing something cool, or props to Game Studio, I guess. Is that the right person, the right group to be giving props to? I don't know. All right, so let's buff up our things, I guess. We're gonna be bashing quite a lot this this turn, so let's just go. All right, so we don't have any grade 2s to call this time around, but we get to swing for various lethals and whatnot. Alright, Allmile's gonna deliver the lethal here. But yeah, so I guess like you basically just go through this event, fight, mess around with Kamui here and there, and then basically just build up points. And it's pretty cool. I haven't checked if there's any missions though, so let's make sure to take a look at that. I also heard from Fluffy that generally, like, if you're really close to leveling up your G grade and you need some more dailies to like get to that, it might be worth to reset stamina for that. But you know, that's something you should do at your own discretion and see if you want to, or not reset stamina, but use the stamina, the 30 stamina, to reset your missions, you know, instead of doing 2 friend fights. So because that, you know, leads to more fights, right? So there we go, fight stage level 3. And so now we need to do 1,000. So let me just go through this, I guess, and get the 1,000 real quick. All right, so now we are in 522. It's like steadily going up. So you basically want to just like go through and get these, like, yeah, well, basically like just 2 fights will take us all the way, right? It's like you basically just want to go through and like do these fights quickly and then face off against Kamui, and then maybe you run into Black Vanguard who like triples your points, but I guess that one must be like luck based, I would assume. So yeah, just like that, we get like 500 a time, and so I guess the more you level up, the more you gain, which is really sick, right? So like already we're we're third of the way to our first GR, which is really cool. So yeah, I think that kind of covers it pretty well. I'm gonna quickly tab out here, just check if we have any missions. But I think the event is pretty simple overall. Like, you just do the fights, you use your skip tickets as much as you want. You don't have to, because all it does is save you time. The bonuses don't seem to be time gated the way they are on the tower event. It's more so just like, you know, you have to have the skin for that one day and that's it, rather than like beating the boss that then activates more bonuses afterwards, you know, on top of itself. So let's take a look at the fighters quests, and here we see, oh no, you do get some free packs and some sleeves on top of that. So if you reach Clan Fight Challenge Stage 5, you get a pack. Stage 10, you get a pack. And Stage 15, you get 3 packs. Stage 20, you get the Victor sleeves. And then beating Black Vanguard once gives you 5 skip tickets. Beating him 5 times gives you another 5. And beating him 10 times gives you another 5. So that's a nice way to build them up. Another really nice change they added was that here, like when you do your dailies and you get these, like, you know, the fighters quest, like these tokens, this used to have a limit of 2,000. Now it's a limit of 25,000. So that's really sick, because now you can actually hold on to a lot of them for the next month in case they add the next set's packs, and don't have to always just like trade them into, you know, these skip tickets of, you know, like just because your currency was overflowing. So yeah, I think that basically does it for the explanation of this clan event. Fluffy and friends are all working on, like, you know, good free-to-play guides on the event as well, but overall, from the general gist of it, you can see how, like if you have one boost skin, which Chrono is a free one, you can go through it and get so many free points just like that. Of course, on the days that you don't have the skins, like Shion and Mamoru, it won't be as great, but overall, it's pretty sick. Like, honestly, this is a really cool way to do the event, and I've heard that even for the most bare bones free-to-play, you can still get quite a lot out of it, which honestly feels more motivating than the way things used to be, where everything was just random, and I guess later on they made it a bit less random, and you guys in Global got it really well with like the discounted Legion sets and stuff. But this looks really, really good, so hopefully that today's video gave you a good insight on how things look over here. Generally speaking, I would recommend to like prioritize to get the GRs first, and then once you've had the GRs, then you can like, you know, go down and like get the triples, but craft your commons, craft your rares, even craft your double rares if you have the, you know, materials. Don't forget you might have still some old pack tickets that you can use on the Nova Clan Gacha, so hopefully that gives you a good insight on how things are. As always, if you like the video, please give it a like. If you like the content, please do subscribe, and otherwise it's gonna be it for me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.